you immediately feel the speed. This year more gave me the opportunity to work even more on the skills I wanted to improve, technical skills and athletic skills. I knew the level was very high, but I still like working for the medals. The race is so difficult. It's very tight, very fast also, so you don't have like time to really manage the stroke. Already from the beginning you are able to understand if you are in a good shape or not. I'm obviously not very happy with the changes in the program because this will be the last Olympic with 200 meters. That's the race.
Hello, my name is Axel, and this time I'm here with Manfredi Rizza. And Manfredi, question to you is, how are you, and are you ready for the Olympics?
I'm good, thanks. And well, I'm in preparation for the Olympics. I hope to be good there.
Right. I know these aren't your first Olympics, so tell me about you finished sixth last time in the Olympics in Rio, right, in the 200 meter distance. So tell me, how was that process? How were you preparing for it? And how was that experience, that cycle?
This is, as you said, my second Olympics, and this I'm pretty sure will be quite different from the first, because the first one is always something that you work for, but it's a little bit unexpected. It was a little bit unexpected because I didn't had so much confidence on my skills, so I wasn't very sure I will be there in Rio. But then it happens, and I was like super happy already to be in the final. And it was just a big dream. Back home, I realized that if I wanted to like participate to an Olympic and be a real protagonist, to really compete at my top for an Olympics, I had to work like more hard for the whole period, 4 years. And eventually we came up with the 5 years, but that's life. Sometimes stuff changes. And anyway, I get back at work since the first year, trying to getting the qualification spot, and it happens in 2019 at the Worlds. But yeah, eventually I came up fifth already, so I wasn't really happy about my performance because I knew the level was very high, but I still like working for the medals. And yeah, so I push hard so much, and yeah, eventually I came up third in the World Cup, so I'm pretty happy with that result, and I'm still working to improve, and who knows, maybe.
Right. Exactly about that. I want to talk about you, right? How do you feel? Like, how is your approach? How do you see the race? Like, as I talked to other sprinters in the 200 meter distance as well, and they said like they know from the beginning, if they have a good stroke in the beginning, then this is going to be a good race for them. How do you feel that sprint 200 meters is very interesting? Like, anything could happen. It's not like only the leaders are always favorites for the medals. We see races where someone from the 8th line or the 2nd line or something like that could be on the podium. How do you feel about the race, and how comfortable are you about your chances, and what's your like view on that?
These are actually many questions, so many answers. Get ready. The race is so difficult. It's very tight, very fast also. So you don't have like time to really manage the stroke. So you have to have like great feeling, great attention, especially during your training period. To get the more sensible you can, the more attached with water you can, and to be the more powerful you can. So yeah, I agree with my colleagues. Already from the beginning, you are able to understand if you are in a good shape or not. If you feel the power on your hands, on your arms, and on your body, and you are able to transmit this power to the boat, you immediately feel the speed. Probably the increasing sensibility that you build up during the training makes you able to like understand immediately at which level you are. So but then, you know, the race is so tight that you can be like in lane one and maybe win.
Right.
So that's the race.
Your beginnings, how did you start in the sport, and what were your, like, do you remember maybe your first podium or first practice? You know, how was that, like the beginning years, and like were the dreams of Olympics?
I was a terrible kayaker. Like no talented at all. No, I started quite young. I don't know, I mean, I was like 9, and I started like because my father was used to paddle before me, and he asked me if I wanted to try. And I mean, I didn't know the sport, so I said, why not? And then, yeah, I started. I wasn't so good, but I really liked the feeling, the mood, and the vibes from the team. So I decided to keep on working on that, and eventually I find out my way to work. I found my road. I think I was quite lucky because the people I met during my career, my trainer and nutritionist and stuff like that. I don't believe I'm like kind of special athlete or very talented one. I just worked a lot every day for many years, and eventually I raised my level year by year, step by step, little by little.
More about your training, you know, schedules, and how your procedure, maybe what you do in your trainings. You know, what are your trainings like?
The training depends on the period. You know, there is like a long time off season, like for all the winter, Italian winter, because it depends on the part of the planet where you are. Anyway, during all the winter, I worked a lot on basic skills and on the gym, like with 4, sometimes 5 session in the gym, and like a lot of work done on the kayak with technique, and like working on, as I said, basic skills like aerobic sessions and stuff like that. And gradually, even inside the winter, I put down some speed, but really just not to lose the feeling with the frequency, with the tempo. And yeah, approaching the summer and the race period, I shortened the trainings, trying to reach a higher quality, and I passed from 4 session to 3 session of gym per week. And yeah, basically that's it. Working more on speed endurance, and a lot of like lactate training, and that's it basically.
Right. You already mentioned the Italian winter, so maybe you can tell us, like, do you go to the water at all in the winter? Is it possible, or anything like that? You know,
sure.
it is, right? So how often you go there?
We are super lucky. Like,
right.
We have like 20 degrees even in winter sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
It depends, obviously, if you are in the north or in the south of Italy, but luckily my coach is from Sardinia, so I spent all my winter in Sardinia. So like for me, I don't know, like 6 degrees is super cold.
Right.
So yeah, basically we go out on the water all the year.
Well, I presume that maybe in your earlier days you were not just competing in the 200 meters and so on. You were competing in the 1,500 meters, you know, maybe in the 5K or something like that, or even longer marathons or something like that. Tell me, how did you kind of settle down, not even settle down, but like find your talent in the 200 meters? Like, how did that process happen?
Yeah. Casually. No. That's actually my first like international medal was in K4 500. So junior. It was a junior like under 18 race. So yeah, I like before 2010, I used to work on 500 and 1000 meters. But then, I always had like some kind of predisposition for speed and in general with power. For example, I wasn't very good at long distances, and I like so much like competing with friends in short distances. So I always wondering if what could happen if like shortened distances came up, and eventually when it came when they actually have been added to the Olympic program, I was so happy because I knew that was my that was my road.
Right. Talk about the Olympic program. I know myself, watched the sport for many years and competed in it myself, but I know that the program has changed over the years, and there's a plan to change it again. So tell me, how do you feel about it? What are your thoughts about all the change, and how do you feel? Maybe do you have an opinion how it should be? Maybe you have a suggestion or vision. How do you feel it should
Yeah.
be for the
I mean,
Olympics specifically?
if I were like the boss, for me, just 200 for everyone. No, but I'm always, I'm obviously not very happy with the changes in the program because, this will be the last Olympic with 200 meters inside. But these are the kind of decision where you cannot act on. I have obviously my opinion. This is really not good for the whole movement. The rising of the 200 meters have bring a new kind of athletes, I think. I saw and I see so far many athletes that maybe weren't very good at long distances like 1K or maybe 500 meters, but being very good in 200. So this distance was a very good opportunity for them, and like cutting off these opportunities for them, I think it is very annoying, very disappointing. But these are not this is not a decision that we can make, so
Right.
that's it.
Yeah. Do you want to hear my opinion? My opinion is that it should be like the 200 meters, 500 meters, 1000 meters, and maybe a 5K or something like that. And you should have like 1K, 2K, 4K, and maybe in the long distance like 5K, maybe even the 2K as well. That's my opinion.
Yeah, for sure. Having more races, it would be
yeah. So yeah, now it's kind of, I don't know what's the plan, like what's the vision for the direction.
Who
But
knows?
it would be
Who
interesting.
knows, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, since the sport is kind of technical as well, there are different boat manufacturers and pedal manufacturers as well. Tell me, I have an interesting question. What do you think is more important, the paddle or the boat? Since the most important thing is the paddler, the athlete itself. But like, what do you think,
That's a
paddle
good
or the boat?
yeah, that's a good question. I would say I never thought about that.
But
I would
you
say,
have thought about
yeah. I think I would say that the paddle is more important because having a boat which is like your boat, the boat you feeling the best, it's good, but like with another paddle you are completely off. So I would say the paddle, but it's kind of weird because I cannot imagine like to change immediately paddle like so, while I can imagine like for some reason to change boat. It happens quite often actually. I raced with a fighter Rio in 2019, and now I'm racing with the Bullet 2020, which is another boat. So I can imagine to change boat, but I really cannot imagine to change pedal because it's like sort of extension of my arms. So I mean, I don't know, probably the pedal. Yeah.
Can you tell me more about like the competition inside in Italy, and like how is the sport perceived there, and what are the traditions over there? Like, paint me a picture about.
We have like every year we have trials as all the nation, I think, and usually they are made like with Italian races where two people are extracted. Basically, the first two people in K1 will go in the first or second World Cup, and they compete between each other to get the spot to do all the season basically. So this is the main program, the main schedule. And yeah, we had like a similar kind of trial for the Olympics. So it's quite easy. I mean, quite straightforward.
About the Olympics, tell me, what do the Olympics mean to you? What does it mean? You've been already to one Olympics and you kind of know the field right now, and it will be like a culture shock, I presume, like that was in Brazil and now it will be in Tokyo and on the other side of the world, right? So tell me, what do the Olympics mean to you personally?
Well, I think for me is like everything. I mean, it is something that I built on. I mean, I worked for this for all my career, and especially in the last 4 or 5 years, I really was so focused on this moment, on this season. And so for me, like competing at the highest level possible is, I wouldn't say a dream, because it's really something for which I have really worked on. So I mean, the dream is being able to do this, but it's really something that I see as a consequence of my action, of my behavior, my actions, and being at the Olympics will be like super emotional, getting back at it. And I don't know, I really don't know what to say, because it is really something that I really cannot describe.
How do you feel that extra year that we had right now, did it help you?
For me, it definitely helped. I decided to have like a little break from the high level competitions for in the 2017. Yeah, basically this year more gave me the opportunity to work even more on the skills I wanted to improve, technical skills and athletic skills. So I wouldn't say I'm happy about this year, because I'm really not. But yeah, me and my coach had the opportunity to, and have the good mindset to get the opportunity to improve even more. So I would say that this year definitely helps us.
Is there any moment you can like process what are you going to through, because like the race is very fast and there's almost no place for error, right? Like, so during training, how do you like install that? Because like I feel like it's a lot of instincts just operating there when you're in the race. Like, how is it for you? What do you do in the race to simulate that?
I would say it is very different, like working on the distance and doing the distance in race. That's basically because I try to do everything I want to do in training, and I try to train to be instinctive, in a sense that during training I try to explore all the options that I can, like all the options that I have, like doing the first part stronger, the second part stronger. I don't know. Like I like to experiment, and sometimes I fail, sometimes I don't. But the point is that I try to get the more experienced I can during training. In this way, during the race, I can just focus on the race without thinking about anything, just going straight, close the eyes and just go.
Tell me about the future goals. What are your goals maybe for the Olympics? What do you want to achieve? Maybe, or outside of the Olympics as well, in life, maybe even. What are your goals?
So far, for me, my life ended to the Olympics. I mean, I really didn't make any plans for the moment after the Olympics, just because I think that with this Olympics, a big chapter of my life will end. Super old, but I'm not very young either. So I mean, I don't know. My future for the moment are the Olympics. I want just to focus on that. But if you ask me, yeah, probably I would like to like settle down with my girlfriend and stuff like that, you know.
Right.
That
Build a
kind of
family.
shit.
Yeah.
And then yeah, basically it will start a very long period of adaptation to the new distances, because as you said, the 200 meters will be like cut it off from the program. So I had to like get back at 500 meters. So it will start a long period of like putting down some volume, some volume of training, and like maybe some changes in technique that will, I think will take some years to really get back at it. So we'll see. I like
Yeah.
to improvise, you know.
Yeah, but right now I understand the goal is just the Olympics and no plans
Yeah,
further down. All the
yeah,
focus
yeah.
focus is on that. All right. Well, I thank you for this interview, and I wish you all the best. And
Thank
thank you
you.
for your time. And
Thank you
see.
to you.
Yep.
Thank you for watching this interview till the end. I hope you enjoyed this interview with Manfredi. I encourage you to check the links below in the description, and also you can follow me on TikTok and on Facebook, and subscribe to this YouTube channel for more interesting interviews. I wish you all the best and see you in another interview.